No,
when
sound
you
is good.
when you okay when
Everything's
you,
good. Everything is
you
good. We just need that countdown, and away we go. That might even be live with the way things have been rolling with Be Live lately. Who knows?
the there he goes.
Oh. Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Telling It Like It Is. My name is Jade Alberts, the founder of Peer Guidance. We're a purpose before profit group that loves giving back and sharing and making companies, hopefully better. But other than that, we also have every Tuesday a great partnership with Osler Law Firm here in Calgary, where we sit down and talk to entrepreneurs like yourself, whether it's tech, brick and mortar, franchise. It doesn't matter. Come in, book an appointment, or just drop in if you like, and you have any questions, we'll gladly sit there, myself, Mo, Kyle, Peter, and share our knowledge and do whatever we can do. So that is just something that we're passionate about. Again, thank you, Michael, and his entire team at Osler for that opportunity. But I am excited to talk about what is Upkeep. Upkeep, we've been working with Adam for a little bit now, and this has been long overdue. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Just good?
Yeah. Yeah, doing good. Good day. Yeah.
Oh, no, it is a good day. And it's something that, honest to God, I would rather shovel snow than mow my lawn. I mean, I know I'm probably in the minority here of doing things like this. But again, I love founding stories, and ever since, thank you, Liz, for introducing us, obviously, to Adam and Adrian, and then it's been a great year run here. But why don't you share your founding story with us?
Totally. Yeah. So home upkeep. So we help people look after their homes throughout the calendar year. So it could be snow removal, lawn maintenance, like you mentioned, or it could be all your mechanical systems, or if you have pools or hot tubs or specific equipment like that, it's window cleaning, eavesdrop cleaning. We bundle that all up into one place, and then we take care of that for the homeowner for the whole year. And then for those people on our home upkeep programs, we're available 24/7 for all sorts of handyman work. So with that said, the way that we came up with this product is because we had done renovations in the past, and there's a sticking point in that industry. Renovations and home building in the past, and there's a sticking point in that industry where you build this beautiful product, and then you just pass it off to the client and you say, "See you later." We had a lot of clients calling us back to help maintain their properties going forward. So it's from that sticking point that we came up with this product and then started home upkeep. Yeah.
So how did you? Let's talk a little bit about those sticky situations. I know the company's called Unique Projects, and obviously you and Adrian are business partners. So was it just was it an aha moment where you said, "Oh my God, like all these people are doing all this great things to their home, but they never look after anything," and or how many unhandy people like me are out there that just really need that help?
Yeah, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Like it also is a sticking point for home builders. So like you get sort of pulled into the maintenance, and you don't really have processes set up for that when you're a builder or renovator. So we needed to find a way to effectively and efficiently help our clients versus just doing it off the cuff and trying to find our way through it. So yeah, like it was needed on the builder end, and it was needed on the client's end. Like a client, like let's say you build them a beautiful home, and they have a full mechanical room with boilers and hot water tanks and furnaces or whatnot. They have really no idea. And then they're in an old growth neighborhood that has lots of trees, and they don't have anybody. And then they get a clogged downspout, and they call you the builder because you built the home for them, right? So it's
Yeah.
about getting ahead of those little things with the home upkeep program, be proactive, and also definitely like our clients' number one feedback, not only for consolidating all home maintenance into one place and not having to vet trades and all that kind of stuff, is like just the value is take it off my plate. I don't want to deal with home maintenance. I don't want to deal. You built me this great place, or I just moved into this great place. I just want to live here. I don't want to look after it and maintain it. It's cumbersome for me. So that's when the product really fits.
So is it? I mean, I guess let's talk about what you mentioned of a new home build or a home builder or things along those lines. I mean, it's probably going to be the largest investment you make in your life, unless
Yeah.
buy a second property or something along those lines. So what type of clientele are you looking for? I mean, I know you have a whole. Let's talk about your suite of services and what you do, and
Yeah.
And I mean, I love the fact that it's kind of like a la carte. You know, when I go to
Mhm,
the restaurant, I have to tell people I don't want any vegetables. I don't want to eat that crap, right? Like, so like, tell
mhm.
me a little bit about your services.
You gotta get your vegetables, Jake.
No, no,
Um,
no.
so yeah, that's exactly right. Actually, we have a menu. It's literally a menu, so it is like ordering food, and it has a list of services on there because every client and every home is different. So it's hard to bundle like such a a wide variety of people into packages. So we did like an a la carte menu, just like you mentioned, and you choose your services off that. We price those for you, and then we execute those services for you. So um, yeah, it's completely custom at the end of the day. It's completely custom. So if your home has 3 furnaces, then you'll have 3 furnaces on your that need to be maintained, and that'll be built into your pricing.
So like, what like other than furnaces and little outdoor, what other things? I know you always laugh at me, and I'm prompting this, and I shouldn't be picking on myself, but it's easiest to do that because
So,
I haven't done anything, knock on wood, and I shouldn't even talk about it to anything in my house, and everything still works. So, really, what should the average person, really like something that I just out of sight, out of mind in the furnace room, or out of like that just I just don't know what to do and need, and I kind of it's like a fix it when it's broke type situation for me anyway.
yeah, and it's uh yeah, you can be reactive like that. You are, I don't know how that furnace is still ticking, but it is. So we've joked about it many times, but it's not that many things, for the average person, the average house, it's not that many things. You got to make sure you're controlling the water coming down your eaves troughs and your downspouts. You got to make sure that is working properly. You got your heating system, so however you're heating your home, you got to make sure that is working properly. And then yeah, fire and life safety, that's key. So like your COs, your smoke detectors, make sure you're on top of that and just checking those once a year. And then you're cleaning your dry vent. That's the other one that kind of gets left to the wayside is just get that cleaned once a year. It's a very simple task to execute, and it can prevent fire. So yeah, the gambit of services that are essential is not very long. So you can set yourself up with a home upkeep program with only a few services, and it can be very beneficial that way. But it is wide. Like it's anything landscaping. So it's your spring cleanup, your fall cleanup, your lawn maintenance, your snow removal, your fertilization, the weed and feed, whatever you want to do on that side. Then it's your windows and eaves. So some of your pressure washing, your eaves trough cleaning, your window cleaning. It's all your mechanical systems as well. And then we have like some proactive inspections that we do, like roof inspections, plumbing inspections, home inspections, attic inspections. Like if you did want to add that in, that's generally like every 5 years type stuff. So you're just getting like a nice update every 5 years um, on what's going on in your home.
So again, I'm talking with Adam Ford, one of the founders of Home Upkeep. HomeUpkeep.ca is a website. Click on it in the comment section for more information. So I guess if you're going to say worst case scenario is Jake Alberts and best case scenario is probably yourself, like where do most people fall when you're talking to them about doing this? Are they, oh, I didn't know I needed to do that, or like
Yeah.
when you're having these conversations, like what do people say?
Yeah, um, it's totally stems from not understanding. I think that like that's what we realized when our they just did a beautiful home build, a beautiful renovation, and then there is really no understanding of how to take care of that long term. So, um, yeah, I think it stems from not understanding. I think time as well, like a busy person just doesn't want to deal with it. They do a cost benefit analysis of potentially what they're earning versus like spending time looking after their home. So they just have us, take care of it. Um, but yeah, I think our clients get the most value out of us um, taking it off their plate. Whether you're stressed about it because you don't know, or you're stressed because you don't have time, just they get the most value of us just kind of taking. Like for instance, like later today, I'd let a client know later last week that their the dry vent cleaning was scheduled for this week. So yesterday we contact and we say, hey, we're coming, a follow up there, and then we're going to go there later today and take care of that dry vent. So along the way, they're not having to think of it at all. Like we're scheduling, planning everything for them, and then executing the work as well. So people get the most value out of that, I think.
So when you come in and you're going to charge X amount of dollars for this and things along those lines, and people come in and pick a la
Mhm.
carte, are they able to put together a monthly plan, a quarterly plan,
Mhm.
or pay it on, at one lump sum? What do you offer?
Yeah, good question. Essentially, we price by the line item, and we share those prices with our clients so they can pick and choose the pricing of an item as well. And then we bundle that up, and then we divide that by 12, and that's their monthly fee. So it is a year contract. So we're looking after the house for the whole year. Yeah.
And that's got to be beneficial. I mean, for
Yeah.
for somebody that maybe goes into has a vacation home, or maybe they're snowbirds and they're gone for a long period of time. I'm guessing those types of people are need that service, because they're not here.
Totally. Yeah. Snowbirds, people who head south for the winter. People got off the phone with a client this morning and we're doing some work at his house, and he works out in Ontario most of the time. A client who actually moved to Mexico to work for 2 years on a two-year work trip, I guess, and we're looking after their house while their house stays here, or yeah, their house, of course, would stay
Well, of
here, but
course,
yeah, yeah. But
that
we're
could be
looking
the
after their
that could
house
be
here.
the. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie, that could be the quote of 300 and some episodes.
perfect. Yeah, houses travel too. You want to take it with you? Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
They do travel. There are mobile homes.
yeah, yeah,
No,
exactly.
that
So those
makes
are the
sense.
types of clients that see value in it, obviously, because we're here, their house is here, we can take care of it while they're gone. So.
Well, I think that probably just that peace of mind if they're going to be, 2 weeks in, 2 weeks out, or three in, three, or whatever it is, or maybe you just do shift work and you work
Mhm.
nights and you just, need that extra time or whatever it may be.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And again, thanks, Peter, for mentioning a whole bunch of other things that it's good for. If you have that, it's on LinkedIn. Anybody can check that out.
yeah,
So
totally.
I wouldn't. Again, I'm talking with Adam Fuller, the founder of Home Upkeep. Click on their website in the comments section. So let's talk about. You obviously offer a great service. A lot of people are doing it. You're growing. You're scaling. I want to talk a little bit about the starting the business and the
Mm,
challenges of it and bootstrapping it and things along those lines, because the last five people that I've had on we've talked about bootstrapping, and I think it's something that people don't do enough of, or they're
mm,
scared to, or go out and get sales. So I want to talk a
mm,
little bit about building the business. So, once you kind of started and going on it, why don't you talk about some of the early successes that you had and some of the
mm.
early failures that you're like, holy shit, like this is harder than I thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like harder than you thought it would be is like a nice little bow on starting a business. Extremely difficult. But we had a bit of a leg up, I would say, from an upkeep perspective, because we had sort of a client base sitting there from our building company, right? So
Yeah.
um, that was nice. So we got people were asking for the service, and that's why we developed the product. Um, but slow and steady, like, having to develop our own processes to be efficient and profitable. Very tricky, very tricky. Went through several softwares that we thought were good, and they were good for a time, and then didn't work. So trial and error there. Um, yeah. Actually, that might be a good segue, Jade. Like we are for growth. We are considering building our software for ourselves. I think that'll be extremely valuable for our growth going forward. Um, but yeah, so the successes early on is that we had a client base sitting there, and we were able to get some revenue in the door immediately, execute our services like in house, and then get some revenue in the door immediately. But then, like, one of the biggest like challenges we have is we hired too early, so we hired too early, like an employee, and didn't get the growth that we needed off of that. So that was a learning experience for me for sure.
Well, I think let's just touch on that before we go to the next one. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody, actually, we had a conversation about this yesterday with a lady that came into our Osler office hours and wanted to hire somebody, right? I mean,
Mhm.
that not only takes time and energy away from you that you have to train and do it, it's obviously a big capital expenditure. And, the person can leave at any given time, which you
Mhm.
put all this time and money in. So it's so important to understand when you need that person and, when you should hire that person, because it hopefully will be a long-term investment that will really benefit your company. Otherwise, you have situations like this.
Totally. Having you guys in our corner to bounce it off was epic, as well. Like that, to be able to discuss that. I think when you're trying to grow and you essentially there's this conundrum, like you need to sell, you need to have time to be able to sell and earn more revenue, and then but your time is being taken up by your operation. So you're working in you got one foot in each um, role. So but I do think there's a lot of value in being patient there, at least from my own experience, being very, very patient and not overextending yourself. So yeah, maybe you have to work a little more, maybe you have to get into it, but that is bootstrapping, and I think there's tremendous value in that. Um, because what we did is we hired too early, and then you have this expense on your books, and then it didn't work out in the end, anyways. So,
Yeah.
having that patience up front, I think that's definitely been a learning experience for myself. And like we were chatting, obviously, and then finding that line in which we would hold, and then hire to help with operations to then let sales grow. So, yeah, definitely a learning experience.
So what about some of the other pros and cons of bootstrapping, right? I mean, you guys had another business, Unique. If anybody wants to check into that, it's also in the comment section, uniqueprojects.ca. I
Mhm.
know Adrian, your partner, is listening. He's commenting and liking. So thanks, Adrian. Shout out to you. So why don't you talk about some of the like again the pros and cons to bootstrapping? Like what did you think that it helped you benefit? Did it make you a better leader? Did it make you a better understand your finances more? And what do you think it held you back by just not having an X amount of dollars to just say I'm ready to go?
Totally. So coming out of so basically not having our process and systems in place, hiring an employee, putting them out in the field, and then having that fail, pulling that back, essentially getting out in the field and operations more and getting dirty out there really leads to better systems and processes. So that was a big benefit of bootstrapping, is that you really get to know your business. You really get